it comes for distribution of funds here in the county of Hawaii, which is very limited, the pendulum needs to swing to Puna. I said that in Hilo, I said that in Kona, I said that in Kabu, I said that in Kohala, I said that in Hamakua. You know why? Because I truly believe in it. And I said it and made it public. Folks, what we got to do right now when we talk about Puna is the county of Hawaii needs to take their head out of the sand and understand that we can no longer use the excuse, well, Puna is private subdivision. They decided to live there. They decided to purchase there. It's their kuleana. Well, you know what, folks? When the government made that mistake back in the 60s, when they built these large subdivisions without having any planning for infrastructure, it was a fault of government. And we can no longer stick our head in the sand and begin to come forward to bring a fairness about how we deal with your money, your tax dollars. And how do you do that? You do it through legislation. And that's the one thing that we're going to be bringing forward. And we came and spoke with the Hawaiian Paradise Park Association. And we said, we're going to follow Kauai and Honolulu. And what they have is they have an ordinance on their books that says that the Public Works Director has a right to request a CIP to do private roadways and spend county money in private roadways. They have it in Maui, Honolulu, and Kauai. We are going to adopt the same type of language to allow us to spend money in private roadways. And I'll tell you why. It's a health and safety issue, folks. We're talking about not being able to get buses to you, folks. We're talking about not having ambulances coming to your area. We're talking about no police, no fire. That's a public safety issue. We're talking about legislation where we're going to say every time you put gas right now at Malama Market, you know that you pay a fuel tax. Does any of that come back? No. It doesn't come back. You don't get any of that back, not a dime. We're going to change that. We put together legislation that passed the county council that said that it's going to be a grant-making program that allows private subdivision to be able to tap into that funding so that some of the money that you're putting in is going to come back to you. It's only fair. It's all about fairness, folks. We're talking about a building code that is applicable to Florida, where you have all these disasters, not applicable to Hawaii. But what we do is we take a cookie-cutter approach and we say one size fits all. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't apply to Hawaii. The only thing that's applying right now is the cost. All it does is add cost to people's ability here in Puna to get legal. You know there's hundreds and hundreds of unpermitted structure. Why? We cannot build it to code. And we need to understand that that's a problem, and we will deal with it. And that's why I went to the Attorney General when the Public Works Department says, you cannot make the code any less stringent than the state code. And I said, forget that. So we went to see the Attorney General. Guess what they said? Dominic, yes you can. Yes you can, and we will. And I'm talking to you.
Hello, I'm Paul Dolan, and I'm also running for prosecuting attorney. And I'm really glad that Mr. Oshia clarified that he was the best jury trial lawyer amongst us by saying he has the most convictions. Well, I have the most acquittals. And that's far beyond any of the other opponents. You know, I could give you a huge background of my 35 years of experience, but I will just put it out this way to you folks. You know, it's hard to get good doctors here in the Pacific, and right now you folks are looking for a good prosecuting attorney. We have not had a new prosecuting attorney in 20 years, so there is a vacancy down there at 655 Kilauea Ave. And you want to pick the best one that you deserve. You want one with experience. I have 35 years of being a trial lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer. I was a public defender in Los Angeles. I was a judge pro tem in Los Angeles. I even worked at the prosecuting attorney's office. Was over there at the district attorney's office. When I did over 1,000 appeals as a year-long, even before I became a lawyer. Well, my whole world changed when I met my wife, Kahea, who's not here today, or my 6 beautiful Hawaiian children. I think I ran to the ground yesterday campaigning, sign waving. Even the 7-year-old happy to not get beat up with it, I'm sure. And we won't call you prosecutors. But we left our 7-year-old volcano with our aunt. We didn't know she was in the car. And we lowered everything else, and all the other Hanai, nieces and nephews, all of the Hawaiian people who are backing us in this cause to reinstate hope for them. Mr. Roth pointed over to me when he talked about marijuana. Well, yes, I am the forefront candidate backing the rights and the laws of marijuana. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not smoke marijuana. I have never smoked marijuana. However, the will of the people 4 years ago on November 4th, 2008, passed the lowest law enforcement cannabis act in this county. That is the law. It is black and white. And it costs millions of dollars, taxpayers' dollars, not to enforce that law. With the marijuana cases jamming up the court system and the public defender overworked on marijuana cases, and what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that crime increases. And I'll tell you why. Because the other huge issue in this election is crystal methamphetamine. Crystal methamphetamine, it's the worst drug that ever could interest. And I'm glad to talk to you more. But please follow my